still had like my shake for breakfast. Because I was training for this. I was running every morning. I worked out like 5 times a week. There was like this guy that had like, it was like a portable, like a gym and a trailer basically. And he was like right across from this hotel. I was walking down the street and I just saw the trailer. I was just wondering what was in the box. When I went on the walk, I saw he had all this stuff. I know you got like so I worked, I think it was like
What's up, guys? Going on soon.
I was thinking that.
Dude, if you don't jump on that,
Well,
I'll kick your ass.
I was going to talk because I have like workouts in my dad.
Do it.
yeah.
Found it. You look good in there.
Thank you. It's the Diva Light.
Yes.
What's up, guys? Hi, Dana.
How's that with that fan?
It's good. It's good. What's up, bro? Hi, Tammy. Yep.
Somebody give you a testimonial for it.
Oh.
Next week. You know Corey and Tina?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're my first name role.
Yeah, Taina was one of my first things from us.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah. Well, that's why I heard.
Yeah. Me too. Can you guys hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. I think they can. Give me some thumbs up or whatever on here if you can hear me. Just to make sure. Oh, my sister's on here. Hi, Blair. Okay, good.
What are you looking at, Scott?
Facebook Live.
Oh. You can see everybody who's on here.
Yeah.
It lists them for you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I do this, and then it records, and then I can post it to my Facebook.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So what does it do, like, if you have more people than it can display? You know, what if you have hundreds of people on here?
Well, it'll say up here, like, how many people are watching. There's
Oh.
16 people on there right now, so.
Okay. Wow.
Huh? No, Facebook Live.
Yeah, but is it an iPad?
iPhone. That's a 7.
Or
Or the 6. Yeah, that's it. It's called a Diva Light, so it gives you like.
good lighting.
Yeah.
I'm working. I
I'm taking it to basically.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna get started. Me too. You have fun? All right, guys, we're going to get started. You guys can take your seats. Thank you. It's so cool. It's a little delayed.
We got 22 people already.
You can all jump on. And if you can share it on your pages. That'll be good. Okay, if anyone is friends with me on Facebook, if you go on to my page, my Facebook Live, if you can share it on your page, we can get more people on. Because I'm trying to, whoever couldn't get here, I want them to see the content as well. Everybody ready? Okay. Everybody ready to learn? Okay. So first, I just wanted to thank Jeffrey for not only inviting me here, but for giving me the honor and the privilege to share some content.
Nice.
Yeah, I got it all set up. Elaine hooked me up. She hooked me up.
You brought this? Good move.
So, just a little bit about me. You know, it's crazy because a year ago, I was sitting where you guys were, and now I am up here training you guys, which is a very, very exciting thing for me because I have always had a deep passion for helping people. You know, I got my start in personal training, and for those that were here last night, I've done over 60,000 hours as a personal trainer in my career. I started when I was very young. I was 19, and I've owned 3 health clubs. And I always immerse myself in everything that I do. And it took me about 2 years to build my book of business. And I was your prototypical trainer. I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. My first client started at 5. And I was booked every hour on the hour till 9 p.m. 6 days a week. So I had no life. My life was training people. And in the beginning, it was awesome because, you know, I was in my early 20s, mid-20s, making really good money. When other people were working for everybody else, I was working for myself. When the pain started to get too much was when I actually became a father. And I realized that life should be lived a little bit differently. And all of my time was being given away to other people. And the one person that was getting hurt the most was me, but also my son, because I wasn't emotionally or physically available for him. You know, there would be days where he wouldn't see me because I would get up at 4, I was out the door, he wouldn't wake up till 7, and I would get home at 9 o'clock at night, his bedtime's 8:30. And it just became a little bit too much, and I needed to make a change. I didn't know that change was going to be network marketing because I like everybody in here, at one point, I thought it was one of those things. Who thought it was one of those things at one point? Right. I tell people that when I was approached with this opportunity, it was the right place at the right time. You know, everyone talks about that moment. And I remember, actually most recently, I was in Hawaii with our company, and I was getting off the plane with my buddy Todd, and he stopped me when we got off the plane, and he said, just look around for a second. And I said, yeah, this is awesome. He goes, no. He goes, you have to understand, that one moment of clarity led you to where you are right now. And it kind of really hit me hard at that point, because we all have moments of clarity, we all have those aha moments, but you don't know where it's actually going to lead you to. Can you guys relate to that? It's like, you know, you're looking at this book, but there's nothing written in it. And you're actually writing your own book as your life proceeds. So we're all on a journey, and we're all on a different journey, and I didn't know where my life was going to take me, but it's taken me to many places. I've seen a lot of great things, and I've learned a lot of great stuff. And I think some of the best information that people have is the information that they teach themselves. Because I'm very proud that I have a college education. I graduated from Temple with an HR degree. You know, I previously went to University of Pittsburgh, and I majored in partying, and I did that really well. So well that my parents took me out after 3 semesters. So it was better that I came home and really focused on, obviously, graduating from college. Looking back, because I was working full-time and going to school full-time, I was actually learning more in the real world than I actually was in college. And I didn't know that now, but looking back, everything that we're taught and that we learn comes from certain experiences. Could be college, could be a friend, could be a family member. But what I also knew is that my life was basically getting consumed by the stories that were in my head. And when I said yes to this opportunity in network marketing, there was a few things that Joe D told me I had to do. One, he said I had to become friends with Tara Romano, Alexis Romano, C.G. Siddons, and Joe Alonzo. And he goes, you need to hire Jeffrey Combs. I didn't know what any of that meant, but obviously I know what that means now. Because, you know, Jeffrey has unequivocally changed my life. I've started 4 new businesses because of him. And he won't take the credit for it, but he did give me the ability and the mindset to believe that anything is possible. And obviously, you know, meeting the love of my life at the same time was just an added benefit to this journey, because like will always attract like. Now, like most people in network marketing, some of you are shot out of a cannon. How many people were like literally shot out of a cannon, enrolling monsters when you first start? Yeah. So just to give you the backstory on me, I am very coachable. You tell me exactly what I have to do, and I do it. I enrolled 128 people in my first 90 days. 48 people in 1 month. I didn't know what I was doing, so none of that really lasted, but I got a good experience because I learned that I did have additional skills. I knew I could do this. And I still enroll anywhere between 12 to 15 people every single month, 3.5 years in. And there's more work that has to be done to accomplish that. And it comes down to one thing, and it's leads. So how many people in here would like more leads? Show of hands. Real high. Okay. Me too. How many people in here are having anywhere between 10 to 20 organic conversations per week for business op or product opportunity? Raise your hands. Real high so I can see. Okay. Anybody over 20? 30? 40? So what are you doing?
I have ads on Craigslist, I do Facebook, I do LinkedIn. I'll
Okay.
probably have somewhere between 15 and 20 conversations a day, at least 5 days a week.
That's good.
Sometimes 6.
So who's having 10 or fewer? Raise your hands. 15 or fewer. Okay. So, for me, the one thing that will change your entire business are the amount of people that you talk to. How many people here are primarily using Facebook to build their business? Show of hands. Real high so I can see. Okay. How many people, I have some clients in here. How many people worked with me on LinkedIn? Show of hands. Okay, good. Melissa, come up here real quick. So Melissa hired me probably about 6 months ago. She had taken other LinkedIn courses, and after hearing Jeffrey mention my name, she contacted me, hired me right away. And she actually has one of the best stories because she really, we only spent about 6 or 7 days working together, and you can tell them what happened from there.
So after spending 6 or 7 days working together, I started implementing his strategies immediately. And in that first week, I closed 3 sales. I was on the phone, having great conversations, refining my skills in such a short amount of time.
Awesome. Thank you. Hope. So Hope also came to me for the same reason, but Hope was someone that didn't know how to use LinkedIn, didn't have a lot of connections, and we first met in person at an event in Chicago. And she had just finished my training 4 weeks prior to that, and just explained to him the benefit of the connecting style that I have, how many connections you started with, and then how many connections you have today.
I had about 200 connections when I met Scott, and I have over 2,000 today.
Like that. Thank you. Thank you. So the other great thing is that people think that they have to pay for premium. How many people pay for premium on LinkedIn? Okay, you do not have to. So when I started with really focusing on LinkedIn about 14 months ago, I had 700 connections. I have 10,500 now. And it's what I'm doing, there's nothing special. I mean, my clients will tell you that it's just very systematic, it's to the point, and it works. Why I'm so passionate about LinkedIn is that there's other systems out there. There are a lot of people that train on LinkedIn, but what people get with me that they won't get with someone else is I am a full-time network marketer teaching network marketers what they should be doing. Does that make sense? So there's a lot of people out there that have great stuff. They teach you to do the dance, but I don't teach you the 6th grade dance where you have the balloon between you and your partner. I was actually saying this to Carolyn. I teach you how to lose your virginity on LinkedIn. It's the truth. Because so many people get frustrated because they're not talking to enough people. And I'll tell you, the number one reason why people quit network marketing is one reason only. They feel like they've run out of people to talk to. So who in here would love to never have that feeling ever again? Show of hands. That is what this does. Now, I'm not saying that there's other platforms that aren't great. Facebook will always be Facebook. But here is the mindset shift that I had. I pretended that Facebook was going to shut down. And I still wake up and I have that feeling every single day. What would I do if Facebook shut down? So at that point, I know that I need to do something else. So that's when I turned to LinkedIn. Because here's the thing. Facebook, you're only allowed to have how many friends?
5,000.
Is 5,000 enough people for us to grow our businesses? No. Do you know how many you're allowed to have on LinkedIn? There's no cap. So right now there's 480 million people worldwide on LinkedIn and growing. Does anybody know who recently just bought out LinkedIn besides the people that were in the limo with me? Microsoft. So Microsoft purchased LinkedIn a few months ago because they actually want to create a similar algorithm to Facebook, but for business purposes, so they can basically expand the networks. So what we're doing on Facebook, we're going to be able to do on LinkedIn, but here's the difference. Facebook is always going to be the way that you can get product users because we promote lifestyle. We promote a way that we live. We promote results, right? That's all we can do. what you can do on LinkedIn gets you into Facebook jail. I've been there. I had to spend 60 days in Facebook jail because of what I was doing. And it frustrated me because all I wanted to do was reach out and touch people. I just wanted to connect and converse. So when I started to realize that LinkedIn was a whole separate animal in itself, that it's the complete opposite of Facebook, that you can send out connections, that you can send random messages, but not random messages to people that you really don't want to connect with, people that you do want to connect with. So what I want to do for you guys today, and I'm open for you guys to answer, ask any questions you have. You have to understand that I did turn a passion of mine into profit, but I'm a servant to this industry. I've been blessed with this opportunity. I've worked with clients in over 35 different network marketing companies. I was hired by a nutraceutical company to help them get more trainers on board with what they were promoting. But you got to understand, this isn't just about opportunities for your network marketing business. Since I started using my own system, I was featured on exercisejobs.com 3 times for being one of the top online trainers. I'm going to be on an ESPN affiliate radio show called Love and Sports in Philadelphia. I was offered an opportunity to get flown to Toronto to speak for a health and wellness company to help their wellness professionals motivate and inspire their clients. But that wouldn't have happened if I didn't do what I was doing. Do you want to share your story? What you told me yesterday?
Sure.
Come up here. So this has nothing to do with getting a lead, but just the power of what I taught Joe and what Carolyn told me last night completely blew my mind. So Carolyn, I'll let you.
So here's the power of LinkedIn and just connecting with people. I've been dealing with a health challenge for 2 years. I have major gut issues, haven't been able to figure it out. It's caused major challenges for me. Doctor to doctor, so much money, all this stuff. Joe is prospecting for his business on LinkedIn. Comes across a functional nutritionist in Canada. Guy's not really a good match for Isogenics, but Joe says, hey, you know what, I have this friend who has some major challenges. I think you might be able to help her. Guy calls me on the phone with me for an hour, connect with him, I start working with him, and he finally found out what was wrong with me. He was the one, I've gone through so many people. Jeff sent me to a clinic, paid 15 grand for it, did nothing for me. This guy figured it out, all because Joe was prospecting on LinkedIn, connected with this guy, and connected us. We linked us together, and now I can heal. And it's all because of LinkedIn.
So what you guys have to understand is there's a bigger power to all of this, because we're all trying to brand ourselves in a way that is going to attract people to us. So when I got on LinkedIn, I literally did it with reckless abandon. I had no clue what I was doing. I was literally connecting and conversing with anyone who had a pulse. And I was getting hung up on, I was getting yelled at, the worst things you can ever imagine. That's what was happening with me in the beginning. And then I remember something that Susan Sly taught me very early on when she was mentoring me. She said that you have to still ask yourself that question every single day in the mirror, how do I recruit me today? And I said to myself, it's perfect. LinkedIn is a business professional social media forum for people just like us. So then I stopped connecting with just anyone and everyone, and I started connecting with me, other trainers, other sports nutritionists, and other gym owners. Because if I was connecting with me, would it be a weird conversation? No. Would I know their pain points? Yes. Because the one thing that connects you best to your network is pain. Because I'm the after of what trainers want to get to. And what a lot of personal trainers don't realize, the most successful personal trainers are the ones that are not personal training. And they just don't get that. So when I get someone on the phone, there's automatic relatability. Our profiles match, we've done the same thing, so the conversation just flows. So there's many reasons why you should use it. Obviously, to generate new leads. How many people would like new leads? Yes. Here's the other thing. I was getting sick and tired of my warm market. I was tired of talking to that chicken list that I've had for 6 years. Every time I went to a David Wood training, I would look at that whiteboard and I would see 10,000 conversations, 15,000 conversations, 9,000 conversations. So how do I create this? I needed to build a new warm market. Does that make sense? A brand new one. It's not that I was done with those people, but there are so many people out there that could use our gift, whatever that gift may be. Why not connect with them? It's not about forgetting those people. It's about bringing new people in. Does that make sense? And again, the world of network marketing has completely changed. Who here has been in network marketing for over 10 years? Over 5 years? So you guys know, before the internet, before all this, it was home parties, it was coffee shops, it was lunch dates, it was all belly to belly, right? That's gone. Right now, because network marketing is in such demand and there's so many great companies out there, it's who can have the most conversations first. So if you have 3 coffee appointments, right, and you're bouncing all around town, how many hours does that take you? 6 hours? To talk to 3 people who you're going to spend too much time with that are most likely going to say no. But if you have your ass in your chair and you're smiling and dialing with people that actually do want to hear your opportunity, you're doing 5 times as many calls. Does that make sense? So right now, what you guys have to realize and what you have to focus on, this is time optimization. Like literally, there's no time to waste. Because if you're not going to push past that threshold of how many people you can talk to in a week, I'm talking about just last week, just LinkedIn, I had 42 calls. Just LinkedIn, and I closed 2 people. So I am, on average, closing 3 to 6 people every month just from LinkedIn. And it's different, because what we got comfortable with is people coming to us on Facebook, right? People that come to you on Facebook saying, what is this all about? It's a laydown sale. If you can't close that, then you're going to have a lot of problems in this business. How many people here do not have a problem closing people off of Facebook? Most of us, right? How many people do have a problem closing people off of Facebook? Raise your hand. Okay. So if you do have a problem, this fixes that. Because any one of my clients will tell you, this makes you such an amazing network marketer. Because it pushes you past your comfort zone. Now, I call this is the put up or shut up method. Because either you're going to do this and you're going to get uncomfortable every single day and talk to a ton of people, or you're going to sit on your hands. How many people want to sit on their hands? Exactly. So I've spoken on this many, many times, but I'm sitting in a room right now with people that are serious. You guys are all serious about your businesses, right? But everybody, by a show of hands, how many people in here want their business better? Show of hands. Okay. So that's where this can help. If you have new connections, if you're having new conversations, you're going to have new conversions into your business. Just imagine for a second, if your main focus has been launch parties, it has been coffee dates, it has been Facebook. Imagine a whole other lead system that was bringing in, on average, 20 to 25 calls per week. Elaine, how many calls per week on average? 10 to 15. Going from 0. Hope you were having 4 to 5 calls per day when you were implementing it the right way? 4 to 5 per, but that's not uncommon. Colleen, same thing?
Same thing, yeah, when I was actually doing it, I was having 2 to 3 a day.
A day?
From 0.
From nothing. I mean, now that you re-implemented, all the time now?
Right.
Carolyn?
Oh, definitely.
So you got to understand, if you're going to do something, you have to do it. If you follow this system, it is guaranteed to work. And there's not many things that people can say it's guaranteed. What I'm telling you, every one of my clients, raise your hand. If you follow this, it works. Raise your hand. It's guaranteed. You're going to get more connections. You're going to have more conversations. And off a repetition, you will close people in your business. So, how to use LinkedIn? One of the most important things that you have to focus on is your profile. I had a woman that I worked with from Canada. I had her change some things on her profile. 3 days later, somebody enrolled in her business because of what was on her profile. So here's one tip I'll give you right now. If there is network marketing anywhere on your LinkedIn page, get it off today. Immediately. You have to play to your audience. So we're recruiting people that are not in network marketing, right? So we have to become even more relatable to them. So if you have network marketing on your page, it's automatically closing that door of opportunity for those people to say yes or to even want to get on the phone with you. Does that make sense? You need to keep that door of opportunity completely open. I ended up having a conversation this morning with someone from another network marketing company, and I told her what I did. She goes, I had no idea. I said, I know. You need to follow my system. Because literally it was vomited all over her page what she did. And I'm telling you, when you make that change, it creates the most powerful thing possible in your business. What do you guys feel that is? Curiosity. So the way that we're using Facebook, you want to use LinkedIn on a similar way. Does that make sense? So your LinkedIn page, much like your Facebook page, is your business card. So you want a complete profile. I don't care if you were a bartender for an hour, a day, a week, or a month. If you did it, you lived it, you know it, you can talk about it. Does that make sense? So there are many things that we've done in our lives. I mean, I've only done a couple things. I got into the gym industry at 19, so more than half my life, that's all it's been. But I'm sure some of you have had multiple jobs. And I talk to people and they're like, well, I haven't done that for about 20 years. Okay, so what? You still know how to talk about it. You're still trying to recruit people that are just like you. So it doesn't matter if you're a retired educator. You still did that for that long, so you're going to know how to talk about it. So search for educators that also have a passion for health and wellness. So the idea is to search for people just like you. If I was an educator, I would type in educator, comma, personal trainer. So you're looking for people that have the background that you did or currently do, but have a passion for what you're now doing. Because we have the one thing that they don't have, a residual income vehicle, right? Because then you can start asking the right questions to get to the close. Does that make sense? Now, searching for you, but joining relevant groups. So groups are really powerful. There's a group that I'm in. It's a personal training group, and I made a post in there just kind of talking about my life and all the pain that I was in when a client would cancel, I didn't get paid. If I went on vacation, I wouldn't get paid, whatever it was. And I posted it, and I had 12 people reach out to me asking for more information about what I was now doing. So if you're a mom, join some mom groups. If you're a real estate agent, join some real estate groups, because there are people out there that are looking for opportunities, you just have not connected with them yet. Does that make sense? So in the groups, you're not connected to them on LinkedIn. It's a privatized thing. So this group that I'm in, there's 70,000 personal trainers in there that I'm not directly connected to outside of that group. But if I write intriguing enough information, they're going to want to connect with me. And then you'll start finding people wanting to connect with you. Now, just like on Facebook, you still need to provide relevant content for your network. So you still need to post. So if you ever do like morning inspiration stuff, you still want to do that on Facebook, but also I use Hootsuite just because it's easiest, and I put that onto LinkedIn as well. Because then you can start getting people to look at your content. They can see that you're actually providing something for the network, and then it attracts people to you. This is about taking your attractor factor to a whole other level. Because the power of LinkedIn, there's 480 million people. And here's the crazy stat about that. 75% of them make between $80,000 to $100,000 a year. So if they have money, what do you think they might also be looking for? Other ways to make more. There's two reasons why people are on LinkedIn. One is for opportunities, and two is for opportunities to increase their current income. Don't we have both? So I read a great book. It's called The Strangest Secret. It's by Earl Nightingale. Has anybody read it? There's also an audio. You can go to YouTube, just type. It is honestly one of the most amazing reads or listens that you'll ever experience. It's just his voice too. I mean, he's got this amazing, powerful voice. But he talks about, it's an easy read. It's like 45 pages. And he talks about having the law of numbers so far in your favor that success is the inevitable. So for me, I have a goal every day of reaching out and touching and conversing with 50 people per day, 350 people per week. Because I don't care how many people it takes for me to talk to get the result I want. I just want to get the result I want. Now, for the people that have worked with me, what is my main stable book that I have everyone read? Go for No. Who has not read Go for No? Order that book today.
Go for no.
Go for No. It's by Richard Fenton and Andrea Waltz. This book, I read it coincidentally as I was working on LinkedIn. It changed my life because it helps you disconnect from the emotional connection of yes and accept no. Because what's the one word that we hate hearing? No. But if you reverse that, if you're actually going for no, the yeses just show up. So there's two great stories that I want to share from you from that book. One, you have to just read the book because it's kind of like, it's just wacky, but it's a really good book. So this guy was at a, it's okay. This guy was at a conference for his company. And basically, they were handing out all the awards for the end of the year. And he wanted this one guy to sit next to this other guy who won the award for getting the most rejections. And he goes, that's so crazy. He goes, why would a company give out an award for getting the most rejections? He goes, well, look at the award next to him. And it was the award for the highest sales in the country. Because the person that gets the most no's will get the most yeses. So when I read that, I'm like, that's it. I'm literally just going to get as many no's as I can. My personal no-go per week is 30. I try to get 30 no's per week. I mean, I'm going to raise it because I want to talk to more people. The other part of that book, they were talking about the story of the technology for airbags. And if no one knows, does anyone know the story about airbags besides the people that read the book? So the story about the airbags, the technology was created in 1967. And the gentleman that created it went to the major 3 U.S. motor companies, and they all rejected it. They said, this isn't necessary, it's too expensive, no one's going to pay for it. So he lobbied for about 20 years with Congress, and finally in 1987, Congress mandated a law that all automobiles had to have the airbag technology in it. It wasn't for another 10 years until actually he made his first sale. And his first sale, he sold 125 million units, which net him $250 million. He took home. So then they asked the question, did he make $250 million for that one yes? Or did he get paid $3 million every year for him hearing no? And when I heard that, I'm like, that's it. Like, I'm not stopping. So I really went and pushed a little bit harder. And I was actually working with a friend on this. And he goes, dude, you're onto something here. He goes, you got to start teaching this. Because the one thing that I kept hearing from people, not just in the company that I'm with, but industry-wide, whether it's a personal trainer or it's someone else, another network marketing company, the one thing that I ask them is, what are you most unhappy with? And they're always unhappy with their business, and I ask them why. And they're like, I'm not talking to enough people. Because there's 2 reasons. 1, they're afraid, because that'll mean they actually have to get on the phone. But 2, they're just not used to it. Because a lot of companies aren't taught how for you to reach out, connect, and talk. Am I right? We're taught to put information out there, draw enough intrigue and interest, and then people reach out to us. Does that make sense? So when I started to realize that what I was doing was kind of holding me back, because I was staring at my computer just waiting for the inbox to go off. Like I'm like, please someone reach out. I'm an inaction type of person. I don't like sitting back. I like literally being on the phone all day long. Joe and I were actually out to sushi at lunch, and I was going through my book. I had some calls, and this gentleman noticed my book next to me. He goes, man, you got a lot of appointments. I said, yeah, I do. He goes, you got to be busy. And Joe goes, no, productive. So I can't stress to you guys enough the importance of having this vehicle with you, because it really makes you feel better about everything that you're doing. Because, I've closed 5 people in the last 10 days. 3 were off of Facebook, 2 were off of LinkedIn, actually 6, and 1 was a referral. But because I'm putting my energy towards something that's allowing me to get conversations, the anxiety and the stress that I used to have around Facebook and people not reaching out is gone. It's gone. And I don't want to say that Facebook is saturated, but we're all doing the same thing. LinkedIn gives you the ability to be you, to provide your content, to publish posts about things that are on your heart. It's not about babies or dogs or cats or buildings or food. It's about really changing people's lives. And I ask people that. Would you like to learn how you can set people physically and financially free? That sounds awesome, because that's what we do. That's what we need to do a better job of, because it's not frustrating to me, but I know that whatever company that everybody is in, we can be doing better. We can be changing more lives. I enrolled a guy off of LinkedIn in March. He was an old friend of mine. He actually used to teach spinning at my gym. And we met for coffee, because I will do just 2 coffee dates per week now. That's it, because I still like to get out and actually see people. I don't want to be sitting in my office all day. And we sat down, and I told him about the opportunity. He wanted to think about it because he owned a gym, and he could relate to a lot of what I was talking about. He was amazed to see where I was from where I am now and where I was when he knew me at the gym. And he goes, I'm going to wait about a month. I have some other stuff going, blah, blah, blah. And then something happened to his business, and he texted me, and it was 2 days later, and he goes, I'm ready now. He said, F that, I'm ready now. He goes, can you come down to the studio today? I said, absolutely. I enrolled him. So since then, he's enrolled 62 people. He hired Jeff. He's coming to Breakthroughs. Went to Celebration. Went to an ICU. He went to a couple team trainings. And he already has his ticket, hotel, and everything booked for NYKO. And he has 3 people starting to build with him. So that type of person changes your business. Like Jeffrey talks about, the 1 or 2 people. Those 1 or 2 people are on LinkedIn. They absolutely are. I connected with another girl from South Carolina, and she was doing like her own fitness thing, and I said, you need something behind your brand. You need, we all have tool belts in this industry, but if you're going to just put all your eggs in that one basket, you need something to back it. So I told her about this opportunity, and I sent her information, got her back on the phone. She goes, let's do this. And she came in on a President's Pack. Because you got to understand that money response that we get on Facebook, well, that's a lot of money. Or let me check with my husband or wife. You don't get that on LinkedIn. You get people that they want to make money. Tell me how. But here's the other great thing about it, is that when someone says yes on LinkedIn, I take the business away. It's the first thing I do. Because what's the one thing that we fell in love with about our company? The products. So imagine closing someone and you say, listen, that's awesome. We're going to pick out your program based on your health right now, between healthy aging, weight loss, energy, and performance. Where do you have the most holes that you want to fill right now? They'll tell me, and I'll put them on that pack. And I'm going to say, listen, let's put the business to the side. Because if you don't fall in love with what I did 3.5 years ago, you will not even open that door of opportunity. It's just not going to happen. So I want you to forget about the business. Get a product experience. Because if you're not going to eat at the restaurant that I recommend for you so you can then recommend it to somebody else, this business isn't going to work for you. So just trust me. So sometimes it's after a week they want to do something. She was after 2 days. She goes, this SHIT is awesome. Let's start. And she just went consultant this week. And she's literally only been on the products for 9 days. And we've done 3 calls and we've closed 2 people. And we have another call on Sunday set up. And she's so excited now because she already had a ClickFunnels already building with her other business that she's now going to implement this into it. So that's also going to change the game. How many people would love something like that? So that's also what this is going to do. So again, LinkedIn, it is a personal platform. It's not like Facebook where we're all doing the same thing. LinkedIn allows you to build a platform, a profile of you, because you want yourself to mirror other people that are in your industry, past or present. Does that make sense? So people say, well, you know, do I mention health and wellness? Absolutely. You know, because there are search words and key phrases on LinkedIn. When you go to that search bar, if you type in health and wellness, you want to make sure you pop up. If it's not on there, you're never going to show. But if you were in the catering industry or the food industry, you also want to include that on your profile, because then you can merge the two together when you're looking for people. Here's the other great thing. Who here would love to build internationally? So I'm now focusing a lot on Canada because it's close, it's easy to get to, and LinkedIn, you can literally pick a country and network just there. You can search for the same kind of people that are just like you in Australia, New Zealand, Singapore, Canada, Mexico, Colombia. I've enrolled multiple people from Canada because of LinkedIn. We can't do that on Facebook because Facebook is our general area, right? It's mostly people we went to high school with, it's people we went to college with, it's childhood friends, it's friends of friends from that area. Would you guys agree that most of our Facebook population outside of our network marketing company is people that we knew at some phase in our life? Raise your hand if you can relate to that. It's hard to build internationally on Facebook, but it's easy on LinkedIn because you can target. You got to understand, with LinkedIn, you are in the driver's seat the entire time. Literally the entire time. You control the speed of your car, how many roads you want to go down, how many people you want to connect with, how many conversations you want to have. So how many people here are full-time right now doing their network marketing business? Okay. How many people are part-time? How many people are some of the time? Okay. Here's the other good thing. It doesn't matter whether you have 30 minutes or 30 hours. This system works no matter what. I mean, you were teaching full-time, you fit this right into the blocks of time that you had, and here's the other thing. You set up the calls when you want to set them up. You're steering the ship. So the analogy that I give people is I teach people to be crab fishermen. So has anyone seen The Deadliest Catch?
Yes.
So you know the concept, you know, they throw the pods out into the ocean, they come back the next day and they collect all their crabs. That's what you're doing on LinkedIn. You're literally throwing your pods out, you're checking to see what crabs crawl in, and you set up some appointments with the time that you have. And what I teach, you literally only need to spend about 10 to 15 minutes every single morning, and that's it. That 10 to 15 minutes results in 20 to 30 calls per week. It's pretty efficient, right? Because you don't want to just sit there. I mean, I can sit there all day and do stuff because I can now. But for the person that's getting to that point, this is the perfect system for that. Because you can still multitask, focus on what you have to focus on, and not take away from anything that is going to hurt your business. Everything that you do on there is building for your business. And no one's doing this. I can't tell you, I had another company hire me to teach their team Because no one was doing anything. No one's doing this. So if you start doing it, what do you think is going to happen to your business? Right. If you're having an extra 20 calls per week, every month, that's 80 new calls a month. That's 1,000 new conversations a year outside of everything else that you're doing. What do you think those 1,000 conversations are going to get you? Sales. And you're going to find those few people. And you'll be amazed how many people on LinkedIn are looking for an opportunity. They really are. As much as, I mean, how many people are a little bit uncomfortable using LinkedIn because they're just not sure, but it's just kind of weird. That's normal. But all I can tell you is that there is a method, there is an algorithm to LinkedIn. And I'm not saying I figured it out, I'm not saying I'm a guru, but what I do on a daily basis just flat out works. And everybody needs to learn how to do it. Like I said, it makes you an amazing network marketer, because what's the one thing that actually makes you a great network marketer?
Connecting.
Conversations. Because I was terrible in the beginning. Terrible. Because I didn't know what to say. Because when people come to you on Facebook, they're coming to you knowing that you have something. On LinkedIn, you have to paint the canvas. It's like Bob Ross. You're painting the entire picture for people. You don't even know what they're looking at. You have to do such a great job of being Picasso that they want to find out more. And here's the thing. If you can get someone on a follow-up call, you have a 25% chance of closing them in your business. 25% chance of closing every person on a follow-up call into your business. Do you like those odds? You know why? There's only 4 responses on LinkedIn. Yeah, let's do it. No, thank you. They're a no-show, or they're too busy building a shed in their backyard. That's it. So if you can be shown a way to get that 25% return rate, it's going to change your business, right? But here's the other thing. Just like anything that you do, if you stop, what happens? It stops. Like to a screeching halt. And the mobile version of LinkedIn is just as effective. You can be sitting in the waiting room taking your kid to the doctor, and you can send out your connections. You can literally do it from anywhere. That's the great thing. So, how many people in here have a network on LinkedIn of over 5,000? How many did you have when we started?
I forget.
But it wasn't.
No, it was like 2,000.
So she added 3,000 new connections in the last 5 months around.
More.
Even more.
Like 8,000.
So you got to understand, the more connections you have, the more conversations you're going to have. Who would like more leads than time? All of us. That's what this is. I had calls when I was in the limo coming here. I had calls when I literally ran in, checked in, said bye to the people in my limo, went upstairs, and I was on the phone from 5:30 until 7, right till the cocktail hour. I had to schedule it that way. I'm not going to miss a beat. I had calls at lunch. I have calls before dinner. I have calls as soon as I get home on Sunday. But I do it on my terms. I tell people, here's when I'm available. Which one of these times is best for you? And that's the great thing. You build this whole new database of people, because here's the other great thing. If they're on LinkedIn, where are they most likely also on? Exactly. So when you connect with them and they're interested in more, you send them information, say, listen, search me on Facebook, send me your friend request, you can see how I promote this business without actually promoting it. So I did that with a trainer last November. She had heard of Isagenix, and you'll be surprised how many people have not heard of your company. They just haven't. So there's 3 kind of responses you'll get, like, yeah, I've heard of them, no, I haven't, or yeah, but I don't know too much about them, which basically means no, they haven't. And I said, just friend me on Facebook. If you're not sure what you want to do, just look at what I do. She watched me for 7 months. Finally, this past June, she reached out to me and she goes, I'm ready. She came in on a press pack. So what do you think she started enrolling people on? So she did 7 in 2 weeks. Never knew she could ever make money doing this. She is. So, like I said, the fact that you could build this business anywhere you go, everywhere you are. I've had Zoom calls for people. Oh, and I mean, how's everyone excited about the new markets that we're going to be going into? So you can start planting those seeds now, so that when things do happen, what do you think you have? We have the advantage, right? Because we know how to connect with those people. Facebook, how are we going to connect with people in other markets? We can't, because Facebook, if you send too many friend requests out to people that you're not directly related to, that's how you get in Facebook jail. So, I do coaching. Does anyone have any questions before I go on? Literally, you can ask me anything. Yes?
Are you, once you make a connection with somebody, are you sending them a message directly? Now, is that your next approach?
So there's a systematic way to do this, because there's multiple ways to connect with people through general posting. But yes, how many people here have gotten like a drunk-a-log message from someone like, check out this opportunity, it was featured on NBC, you know, watch this video, right? It's gross, right? Yeah, we don't want to be icky and gross. It's gross. It's gross. I don't want Phil. He's not on my live, obviously. You have to be as genuine and real as possible when you want to talk to people. So, do you have to be vague? Not vague, but you have to create curiosity in your, there's many different scripts that you can learn, but it's like, it's thanking the person for being connected, you know, to you. Are you open to other opportunities outside of what you're doing? And they basically will tell you yes or no. But there's definitely a way that you need to say something, but you just gotta be genuine and real and right to the point. These people wanna get in bed with you. They don't wanna do the dance. They don't have time to waste. They have other jobs that they're doing. They just wanna know what is it that you're talking about. Make sense?
Yes.
Any other questions?
How have you seen LinkedIn change since the Microsoft acquisition?
So it's a great question. So it's definitely changed because they've actually enabled people to upload videos, but also the algorithm has switched where when someone likes or comments, it's actually appearing in that person's news feed, almost like in Facebook where it says so-and-so liked this. So now the second, does anyone know what second connections are? Second connections are your first connections, which is your network, their first connections. So when one of your first connections likes your stuff, it'll appear in that person's news feed and then they can actually see it because they're only one connection away. So that's a way you can build connections that way as well. It's wild how much can be done on here.
There used to be a limit on the mobile app when you sent out connections. It wouldn't say you're not allowed, but you know how it says connected or request sent.
Right.
It would just not show that after maybe 10 of them. Now that's disappeared.
So there's a way to, so for some reason you were only allowed to send out 5,000 connections at one point, but what I've learned is that if you stay on top of it, there's an area of LinkedIn in the Grow Your Network area where you can actually delete sent requests, because you could have 3,000 connections, but there might be 2,000 people that haven't accepted yet, so you can't send more. But you can go over that 5,000. With the free version of LinkedIn, the only thing you do have to be careful of is searching. With the free version of LinkedIn, you're only allowed about 10 to 12 searches per month. So has anyone gotten that message, like you're approaching your limit of searches for your month? That you can, so with the free, like with paid, you can search as much as you want. But there's two areas to connect. The Grow Your Network, which is your second connections that they all automatically filter into you. But then there's the regular connections that you can actually search and connect with. Make sense? So you can go above and beyond it. I mean, there's 480 million people. I have 10,000 connections, so I haven't even scratched the surface yet. And if you just want to, like I said, I want to build in just one market. Like, I just want to build out Canada, and then I'm going to build out Australia, I'm going to build out New Zealand. That's how you can do this. So it's systematic, and it really works. That's a great question, though. Yes?
Scott, you mentioned using Hootsuite.
Yes.
LinkedIn. With our clients and our Facebook marketing, there's an EdgeRank score, right? And we notice when you're using third parties on Facebook, the engagement is 0. So we have everyone do organic posts. Do you know if that's the same on LinkedIn?
So I post every morning from Hootsuite, and I don't see any difference in my EdRank at all.
It could just be an industry thing.
I think it might be either content. What time are you posting?
Well, no, I'm thinking with our mortgage clients, with
Right.
our real estate clients, there are all these third parties that are posting on their behalf, and it's the content, it's canned real estate, general contact.
Is it
that nobody wants to
is it
see.
things that are being shared?
Yes.
So what you have to understand about Facebook is that who here shares stuff? Don't. So when you share something, so say like, there's a transformation and it was so inspiring, you share it, Facebook doesn't like that. Facebook likes it coming right from you, so you save the photo and you can edify the person that's in there, but you never want something shared. Just like if anyone sees my Motivational Monday videos, I upload it myself and then I put it on my YouTube channel. The thing that people make a mistake of, they upload it to their YouTube channel and they put it on Facebook. Facebook doesn't want you leaving Facebook. So if you upload a YouTube video on Facebook, it's not going to get anywhere near the views that it would be if you uploaded it yourself. So everything has to come from you, but third-party posting, whether it's Buffer, Postcron, Hootsuite, any of those, if it's still going directly to that at the right time, it's going to get the same engagement. It will. Because if I'm on the West, I'm not going to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to post. It's just not going to happen. You got it. But yeah, so don't share. But it's also timing. 7 a.m., 12 p.m., 8 p.m. Those are the 3 peak times you should be posting on social media.
Do you find people are still interactive on the weekends as well on LinkedIn?
Yes. So Facebook, as many of you know, it dies like at lunchtime on Friday because people are just completely checked out. I was sitting back there in between some of the talks and I scheduled 4 or 5 appointments for next week. Because you got to understand, people are on there. If your network is universal, if your network is all over the place, whether it's Eastern Standard, Central, Mountain, Pacific, Europe, wherever, there's people always on there. So it doesn't, like some people that are active on LinkedIn are always going to be on there, so it never dies. Holidays, yes. Summertime a little bit too, just because people that have kids, they get a little overwhelmed with camps and everything else, but once school's back in session, it's like wildfire. Any other questions? Whatever is on your mind.
Do you have experience with YouTube, growing YouTube channel?
So I'm trying to grow mine right now and I'm trying to figure it out. YouTube, it's obviously they want you to monetize it. They want you to pay to get more views, just like other applications. I'm a big believer that it's good to have multiple social media forums that you're on, but you don't want to spread yourself thin. So for me, I focus on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. That's it. I do a little bit through Google and Craigslist, like to kind of fill in the pockets. But you have to understand, every single social media site is different. I mean, YouTube is so huge, like so massive, because your content has to be so different that you have to find that niche. And it's also about the keywords that you use. Like I put up a video the other day of a workout in the hotel. It got 75 views. And then I put up a really great video on just inspirational content and it got like 12. So you don't really know what's gonna do, but Instagram's awesome. Like I used to hate it at first because I just couldn't understand it. But the one thing I love about Instagram is that you can connect it to either your Facebook or a business page, Twitter, and Tumblr. So you can get your content spread out over like multiple social media forums like that. That's what I love about it. So there's a lot of people that have a different train of thought where they say that you should be posting different things on different social media forums. I'm of a different opinion. I say if you're branding yourself a certain way, brand yourself that same way on every single social media forum. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I'm doing Snapchat a little bit and Instagram stories. That's still, I'm still figuring it out, but my main focus is on those 3. Yes?
Scott, have you found that Instagram works pretty much the same way that LinkedIn does with the messaging and all that? Do you do it the same way?
So, Instagram's a little like it's very automated, like Twitter. Has anyone like followed someone on Twitter and they get an automated message automatically and they're
all the time.
So Instagram's the same way. There are real people. I have enrolled people off of Instagram, but what I realized is that you need at least 10,000 followers on Instagram to make a dent, because you get about a 10 to 15% engagement return on what you post. So right now I have almost 7,000, and I'll make a post and I'll get about 100 to 120 likes on it. So for you to really make a big impression, so people start reaching out to you, you got to grow it. And with Instagram, it's work. You have to post on Instagram between 6 to 8 times a day, because it's all pictures. So it's all pictures all the time. So you want to appear as often as you can in that news feed every 2 to 3 hours. Does that make sense? Also, the big thing on Instagram is hashtags. So the one thing I learned from Joe is that you always want to have a set amount of hashtags. You can search hashtags, like I did one earlier, and I did hashtag sky, hashtag clouds, hashtag fly, hashtag travel, but it's all got to be continuous. So if you do hashtag sky, there's no space, you do an automatic hashtag right next to it, because Instagram picks up the entire thread. If there's a space, you actually lose the actual capability of that second hashtag until the next one appears. So you want all one straight line, so it's like hashtag word all the way through. So if you want, you can follow me on Instagram. It's Scott_Aaron. And you can look at my hashtags and see how I do it. And I have like a base of certain hashtags I use for every post, and then the last 4 I use specifically for the type of picture. Hashtag salad, hashtag bacon, or whatever I'm posting about. And that's the thing, with Instagram, you can post about anything you want. It doesn't have to be health and wellness related. Literally, Instagram, they love salads, they love pictures from a plane, like it's like the most off the wall stuff. And then you'll post a transformation, it's like 10 likes. So it's interesting, but the more that you build it, the more people will reach out to you, absolutely.
Do you find that Twitter works the same way with the hashtags or not?
You know, Twitter's weird. I have never figured out Twitter. I've been on there for a while. I have people that end up following me, but I've tried to do promotions and stuff on there. I've never had anyone reach out to me from Twitter. Never. Yes?
So I'm a newbie with LinkedIn, and I have a question. When you connect with somebody, like you request them, I guess, because I don't have a premium package, I can't send them a message, right, until they...
There's a certain method. How many people here feel they could benefit from working with me on LinkedIn? Raise your hands. Okay. So there is actually so much. I mean, any of my clients will tell you there's a lot to go over with this. But once you're done with my system, how comfortable did you feel?
Piece of cake.
It's a piece of cake. So there are methods to everything. So here's what I want to. Does anybody have any last minute questions before I go into what I can do for you guys? Any other questions? No? Okay. So typically I have some personal coaching packages. So I have some video modules that I've created that basically are 4 different videos in 2 packages. So it's 8 videos that are about 11 minutes each, and I give that to my clients for free. The videos sell for $249 and $449, but with the coaching package, I give that for free. And basically it goes over how to set up your profile. I basically like people to do prep work before we jump into the pool. So it teaches you how to connect, how to search, how to get your profile right, what to do in groups, publishing posts, general posts. Then what makes my training a little bit different, I do one-on-one, and I do it all through Zoom, and the girls can tell you, we record everything that we do. So we set up Zoom sessions, and they're 3 30-minute sessions, and we record it. So by the end, you have 90 minutes of recorded content that is specific to you and what you specifically should be doing on LinkedIn. So it's not relevant to anyone else. So you have the 90 minutes of pre-recorded and then your own one-on-one recorded with me, 90 minutes. You have 3 hours of content. So I typically charge $9.97, but Jeffrey wanted me to do something for everyone, so I took $200 off what I typically charge. So for today, it's only $7.97. And what I can tell you is that, Jeffrey assisted me because when I first started, I had such a low price point that I actually recreated my personal training business with LinkedIn. I was doing about 16 Zoom sessions per day.
Welcome to the big leagues. Huh?
Per day. So it actually took away from my business, and Jeffrey said, you're worth more than that. You have to start charging more. You'll get the serious ones when you do. And I did, and it's worked because the right people have shown up to work with me, and it's changed their business. So if you guys are serious and you're really ready to explode whatever your business is, this absolutely works. I guarantee the results. You just have to follow the system and you'll let it do the rest. Thank you for your time.
All right, Scott. I'm going to interview Scott for a couple seconds because Scott was in this room. Are we done? Can you turn that off?
Bye, guys.